All right, episode 3. Now, if you hear a little scrickety-scratchety in my throat, I'm under the weather. I like to boost up my immune system by just kissing the crap out of my kids when they're sick, and it backfired this time. So, we have a little bit of 1-800-CALL Dear Juju. Don't forget to call me, by the way, and leave a text message or a voicemail. Voicemails are so much fun. I love listening to them. Phone number is 323-515-9338. Leave a voicemail, okay? And call me and leave your most sensual voice. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get in it. Hello, world. Come inside the Dear Juju podcast. Now, since I'm sick and under the weather, I am cold to the bone. My husband calls me his hot water bottle because at night I radiate so much heat. I've been called a firecracker my whole life. I'm a person with a lot of energy, and I'm short and I'm little and I'm compact. I'm like dynamite, okay? TNT, dynamite, yes. But right now when I'm under the weather or when I'm fasting, for some reason, I just get cold to the bone. So, I always have to talk about my outfit. So either go on my IG or look at this. I put on my fur. Now, can we talk about the fact mob wife era? Now those of you who remember Gyogo, shout out to my TRUs. Back in 2012, I started a YouTube channel with my best friend. It was called The Gyogo Show. We were the get in or get out girls. And I was given mob wife aesthetic back in 2012. I don't know if it's my Italian or my Southern, but honey, I give mob wife like no one else does. So I feel like this is my era. And I'll continue like this probably to my dying day. And then I have on this really cute sweater from Recess that's vintage. It's pink with little pearls. Adorbs. And speaking of kids, now, right? Anytime I bring up my kids, I just take the deepest breath in the whole world. No one really prepares you for how tough it is, how I thought I have a lot of energy. I'm super positive. I'm going to be an amazing mother. It is a lot harder than I thought. When my oldest son started kindergarten, there was a lot of friction there, but I found myself really struggling as a mother. So I reached out to Dr. Vanessa Lapointe. Hey girl, I don't like to go into mom stuff too much, so I'm going to make this short. I am a part of her Parent Transformation Challenge because I was like, I cannot change my kids. And I don't want to. They're perfect. But what I do need to work on is changing me. And let me tell you, that work has been absolutely transformational. So this week, I had my call with Dr. Vanessa. We did some inner child work. Okay, put up on the screen. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. I'll slide it in real quick. 6-year-old Juju. Let me tell you, love her. John Bradshaw is his name. We did one of his therapy sessions. First, I saw my 6-year-old me. Then me as the adult went to her, had the 6-year-old me come sit in my lap, and I hugged her. And I said, I understand you, and I love you, and I got you, and I will stand up for you. And anyone can come and anyone can go because you are safe here with me. Bawling! Totally bawling. And then at the end, she said, try to see your 6-year-old boy as you. And try to treat him the same way that you would treat you. And that was just really profound and a mic drop moment. And she's told me for 30 days to put little Juju on my phone, hold my hands to my heart and talk to her. And it's been such a profound change in how I deal and react with my kids, my husband. Now that I feel like I have her back, her and I together are like in this and I support her. I don't know, try it. So if you've never done some inner child work and you're snapping and losing your crap at your kids or your husband left and right, try it. Just try it. Who knows, okay? I'm sure all of us can go back to 6-year-old, 12-year-old, 20-year-old and give them a little hug and know that now you're older and you're there for them. Love on you, okay? No one else is gonna, the way you are. Hello. Next, it is my son's birthday coming up, and I am planning his 6-year-old birthday. And let me tell you, it is a racket. If you're looking to get into a business, honey, start anything around a kid's party, okay? Parents, let me tell you, will start coughing up the coin for their kid, okay? I called A puppy petting, right? Oh, how cute. Let's bring puppies. $600. I called Lego. I called car racing. $600, $600, $600. And that's like for 2 hours. I'm just like, do I have to go work like 4 jobs to pay for this party? It is wild. So I don't know who I'm speaking to, but if you want to make business, honey, start it around a kid's birthday party. They'll go nuts. Anyways, what we landed on was Fly High. So, because I'm like, for these 2 hours, if I'm going to pay $600, my kids are like me. Our family name, by the way, is Team DTM. Okay. Team doing the most. My husband does the most. I do the most. My son does the most. My daughter does the most. We're Team DTM. We do the most. We have tons of energy. We're wild. We're loud. We're passionate. So if I'm going to pay $600, it's not going to be to sit down and pet a dog. Okay. You're going to get your frickin' wiggles out. And I feel like all the other parents would appreciate that too. So we're going to a trampoline park. 6-year-old boys, 15 or 20 of them. Yeah, you're bouncing. Bye-bye. Now, I work out at Orangetheory about 4 or 5 times a week. This is what keeps me tight, physically fit. I like to lift weights. I'm competitive. I like to run. On my days where I'm in my progesterone, I like to power walk and lift lighter weights, but it's something that I can ebb and flow, be consistent in, and I love it. Now, Orangetheory, I don't meet people that I normally would or hang out with in normal day life, right? Like at the gym, if you go anywhere consistently, it's like my cheers. They start to know your name, right? Now, I am Queen Juju there. Hello, how you doing? I walk in pretty much every day at 9 a.m. Hey, Juju, where were you last week? Oh, my kids got sick. We were on vacation. Where were you? How come I haven't seen you? And me and some of the other women have such a good time bantering. I'm like, what you picking up, 25s? Girl, you've been picking up 25s for 3 weeks. Better pick up those 30s. And they'll do the same to me. And always at the start of the year, there's new faces, that January, February time. We're always like, here are the newcomers. Let's see who's going to stick and who's going to fall off. So I'm looking around. All new faces. None of my usual suspects are there. But, I'm always me. This is what I do. So the teacher, we stretch and do announcements at the end. So the teacher's announcing, this week coming up, we have a lovely yoga and wine. Everybody come and sign up. It's free, da-da-da. And I'm like, wait. The drinking is after the stretching? And he's like, yeah, we're going to do some yoga first, then we're going to drink some wine. I'm like, y'all got that backwards. You drink the wine first, and then we're much more flexible, just as my husband. Helium heals. Am I right? Cue the crickets. That was it in the class, honey. All these people were looking at me like, who is this crazy woman? We did not buy tickets to this show. And why is she speaking up? I was like, hello, I'm Juju. I'm the queen of Orangetheory, 9 o'clock. Thank you very much. But it was hilarious. Sometimes when I interact with people who don't have a warm-up with me, it can be a little shocking. And that was a moment where they were like, whoa, we got a live one. All right, Act 2, Domestic Goddess. Let's give good spread. Cooking. This week, I am making chicken cacciatore. It is so good. Also, oh my gosh, are you guys following Stanley Tucci? Stanley Tucci has got it right. He is one of those actors that went from actor to social media cool guy. Good for you, Stanley Tucci. I love him. I'm obsessed with him. I feel like him and I are paisanos, like Mr. from another sister, if you know what I mean. And I am manifesting meeting him, hanging out with him, and I'm really trying to manifest his new cookware called Tucci. Anybody of Stanley Tucci's team, okay? Let's see how far we can go. Hey, boo, I am your Italian sister from another mister. I'm obsessed with your cooking line. And, send it to your girl, okay? Bring it on, baby. I want the blue with the gold. I digress. This week, I am cooking chicken cacciatore. This is beautiful, okay? You have this rustic chicken meal that warms the soul, almost feels a little stewish. And how I like to serve it, first, I put on the plate a really big bed of baby arugula. I dress it with a little lemon, a little balsamic, a little olive oil. Then on top of that, I put a little bit of polenta with some herbs and some Parmesan. Then on top of that, I put the chicken cacciatore with all the sauce and the dredgings. And it's hunter style. I love that it's called hunter style. I mean, I want that in the bedroom. I want it in the kitchen. I want it everywhere. Cocktails. Are you more of a vodka person or a gin person? I am more of a gin girl. Anytime there's gin, I'm into it. Have you ever heard of the Clover Leaf cocktail? It's gin and an egg white. The egg white, don't be scared, okay? It creates the most beautiful white foam on the crown, and you know how I feel about white foam. I want it all over my body. Then we have lemon juice and pomegranate grenadine. It's floral, it's fruity, it feels a little bit of depth. It is gorgeous. Now, its cousin, Clover Club, has the same thing, gin and egg white, but it switches out the lemon juice and the grenadine, and it has Chambord and vermouth. Oh. So the Clover Leaf or the Clover Club, I'm going to do for the first time on the show in a couple weeks, a side-by-side comparison. And I'm going to make them both, and then we'll have a little taste test and a little fun. So stay tuned for that. Decor. So as I mentioned last week, I had a home tour with HGTV. Now, I wanted to do something for my hallway. I wanted to make it a color. I wanted to make it warm. What's crazy is that it's not a big hallway, and we took down the art to paint it, and it felt empty and it felt cold. So don't be afraid to hang things and paint things in small spaces. People are like, it makes it feel small. Not always, but it makes it feel interesting. And what would you rather have? A big space or an interesting space? Okay. It's not always about the size. Okay, you size queens. We landed on Breakfast Room Green by Farrow and Ball. Did we actually use Farrow and Ball? No. We went to Home Depot and we color matched. How you doing? It is the most gorgeous green. And then we put all of our portrait art back up. There's a beautiful Persian runner in there. And now our hallway feels decorated. It feels thoughtful. It feels interesting. And it's not just like an afterthought of a hallway. So if you're looking for a tight space, but still want to add color, try Breakfast Room Green. Also in my kitchen, everyone's like, you should be selling the stuff that you're talking about. I know, right? So I've got my Amazon storefront up and I've got it kind of going. And I put on there my knobs that I switched out in my kitchen. I have half moon handle pulls and I have knobs for my shaker cabinets. Adding that brushed gold knobs elevates it, makes it feel a little more put together, a little statement like a piece of jewelry. It's lovely. Okay, this week I do have a wellness. Now, because I'm a little under the weather, I always rely on standard and process, which I'll put this on my Amazon storefront too. Congaplex. What? Have you guys heard about this? Congaplex is basically nature's antibiotic. This is really cool and great for immunity health. Okay, I am not a doctor, but here, if there's anything that's bad in your system, it sends like 5 things to fight it, right? So when there's something bad in your system, when you take Congaplex, there's like, instead of 5 or 10 things it sends like 25 or 30. Basically, it boosts all those antiviral mofos to go get the thing that's making you sick. I found out about it through a naturopath doctor. I take it and I get over my colds, over my flus. Anytime I'm feeling a little wonky donkey, I get out that Congaplex. Try it, look into it, see if it's right for you. Also, are we all taking our vitamin D? Okay. Everyone loves zinc. Everyone loves vitamin C. We know about this. But vitamin D, baby? I was diagnosed with Epstein-Barr a few years ago where I would just get exhausted and very tired. Doesn't even show up in my chart because I take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D every day. Ask your doctor, do your own research. I'm not Dr. Juju, okay, but I'm just telling you what works for me. Congaplex and vitamin D. Honey, you know I love that. D, come on. Act 3, Ask Dear Juju. Okay, I asked the men to submit this time. I love my male viewers. I feel like, obviously I'm a woman, so I talk to women, and the women here are the coolest, am I right? But also the guys here that watch Dear Juju, they love the woman cooking. They love a little dick joke, funny. I love the men here as well. Love you guys. So this man asked, Dear Juju, why do people hate on the uncut boys? I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Listen up. If you're a mean girl, you're not a cool girl. Got it? In this day and age and in this era, to be kind is to be cool. Got it? If you're a mean girl, you are out. Sorry to say. And you know what? I can say that because I used to be a mean girl. I'm from Texas. I used to be a cheerleader, but I was only mean because I was dealing with a lot of pain from my childhood and a lot of pain from my home. So if someone is mean, it really is the fact that they have a lot of unhealed trauma that they're working with. But if you're mean in this day and age just because you're insecure, no. Cool girls are not mean girls anymore. Cool is kind, period. Now, poor straight men, said no one ever, but they love the vajay, right? They love it. They want to get their hands on it, in it, be in it, outside of it, around it, in the vicinity of it at all times. I don't think just in general that women, most women, present company excluded, of course, feel the same way about the penis. I don't. I think they're like, it's weird. It's a one-eyed monster. It's a, purple people eater. So I don't think that women have the same love and affinity for a penis as like men do for vajays. But I don't know why some girls are mean to uncut boys. I've had 3 major relationships in my life. 2 of them have been, little hooded, shy guys is what I like to call them. Pop their collar, if you will. So 2 of mine have been uncircumcised, and I found it really helpful. That extra skin gave me a little bit more motion, and it gave me a little bit more movement to help out with in the process. So I don't know why. If you're in a hetero relationship, of course, I'm talking about here. I think a lot of straight girls think that uncut boys are dirty because of the extra skin, might get a little stinky, might get a little cheesy. And straight men aren't really always known for being the most clean or having the best hygiene, if you will. Girls out there, PSA announcement. If you see a shy one with a little collar or some extra skin, be nice to it. Okay, and now we know that some of the men don't feel great, that it doesn't exactly look like the one-eyed Willie that you were expecting. So just use it. It can help you. It helps with the movement and the motion. Don't hate on it. So I'm saying to you, make sure it's clean. That's all I'll say. Make sure it's clean. Make sure it smells good. Also, too, skin next to skin it's not always great, especially in those dark, moist areas. And women know this. So, have some compassion for our pop-the-collared, hoodied little friends. This is a really interesting one. Okay, let's see.
Dear Juju, I've been having a difficult time trying to navigate, hugging. I know this sounds a bit weird, but I am more of a social person, and I genuinely am a hugger. But as I've gotten older, there are some people I just don't know like that or want to touch or be touched by, who are friends with my friends that I do want to hug. I get guilty when I don't, and then when I do hug the people I don't want to hug, it just feels not great.
Okay. First of all, right, so you're feeling guilty when you don't hug the people, and then you're feeling bad when you do. So you're already in a lose-lose, so might as well stay true to you. Am I right? Now, how do you set those boundaries is always get ahead of it. That guiltiness of feeling bad of half hugging, half fist bumping, you just got to let that go right now. Because what's worse, okay? Feeling bad that you fist bump some people or hugging people that you don't want to hug. Yuck. So since you're navigating this, stay ahead of it. Say hello to the people, and this is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. Role play. So you're in a social situation, and you see someone that you want to hug. Of course, that's easy. Hey, girl, how are you? Da, 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 da. Their partner is right next to them, and they're like, you don't want to hug him, right? Hey, you turn to him. Hey, Jackson, how you doing? You look good. Fist bump. You have to call it out right away. Don't feel bad. If you hug a boy and you want to fist bump the girl, same thing. Lose that guilt of feeling bad, but then you have to get in the driver's seat. In a social scenario, you have to drive every interaction. So you know what that means? That probably means that you have to go up to people a little bit more to dictate whether you want to hug or fist bump. And figure out the thing. A handshake is weird. High five is weird. I think a fist bump feels good, me personally. Do what feels good for you, of course. If I saw a bunch of my husband's friends, I would do the same thing. I would probably hug the guys, and if I didn't want to hug other people, I would give them a compliment and a fist bump. That's what I would do to kind of make up for that hug, right? Because it's like, hey, I just hugged and embraced and loved on them. So maybe hug, embrace, and love on them in a verbal way with a compliment. That feels right. So let's switch it. You see a guy that you're really close to. Hey, how are you? Oh my God. Da, 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 da. And then the girl you don't really know and you don't want to hug her. Hi. Oh my God. I love your dress. Fist bump. Just put it out there. And I want you to make a commitment to yourself right now and me that you will not hug anybody that you don't want to ever again and lose that guilt. We're done with that. Get that away. That's just what's going to happen now. You're going to go into social scenarios. You're going to hug some and you're going to fist bump others. Let's say you're going to a social situation with your best friend or a partner. Make sure to tell them, hey, I like to hug some people, but not everyone, and then I feel awkward. So just so you know, I'm going to be giving hugs and fist bumps. So that's the way it is. We're on a tiered system, okay? Some of them is in first class. Some of them's in coach. I hope that helps. Dear Juju, top 5 to 10 books, please. Okay, now, I am a comedian. I am a domestic goddess. Now, if you know me or if you've ever met me in person, there's probably not much time that goes by to tell you that I have a genius IQ. Okay? It's just what it is. I don't know. I was born with it, you know? It's what happens. My mother told me I had a genius IQ, and it keeps going up. I keep retesting because I want to see if I'm getting dumber because some days I don't really feel like a genius. But I do. I have a genius IQ. It is what it is. Don't hate on me. Now, reading, it's not really my strong suit. I got a lot going on, right? I'm producing. I have 2 kids. I have lines. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And when I do read, they're not novels. Okay? I am a self-help guru. Now, I have tons of art books. I have tons of decor books. But 5 to 10, like fiction novels, this is not the right place. Okay? But 5 to 10 self-help books, here we go. Oh, I got those ready. I do love the science of things. This is why I love Dr. Mindy Pelz. This is why I love Dr. Vanessa LaPointe with children. I love things that are science-backed. And one of my favorites, which everyone knows, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has the science and the neurological development that goes with the self-help, because sometimes self-help worlds can feel a little airy frickin' fairy. Am I right? So I'm just going to read to you what's in my library. Let's see. Mindset, the new psychology of success. I haven't tried that. Dr. Mindy Pelz, Fast Like a Girl. The 4-Hour Body, Tim Ferriss. The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Such a good one. The Surrender Experiment. Oh my God, this is my number one. Numero uno. The Surrender Experiment. Look, I'm speechless. It's one of my favorite books. I could not believe it. And I always listen to it on audio. See, I told you I don't read because I'm usually washing dishes or doing laundry or picking up the kids' crap. What else? Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And that one is so fascinating. Are you ready for I'm going to give you a little cliff note right here. So he talks about how on the molecular level, cells have information in them. So much so that if people get organ transplants, like heart transplants or liver transplants by someone else, they start dressing like the person that gave them the transplant. Isn't that wild? So if you like self-help, I'm your girl. Hopefully I'll be over my cold. I'm now sweating under here because I turned off the air conditioning so that you can't hear it. I follow Questlove. Hey, Quest. And if you don't, you should. And if you don't know who he is, I don't have time for that. So Questlove, and he posted this, and it's Oprah back in the day. Oprah had John Bradshaw on, and they did a meditation. I'm sure you can find it online anywhere. If you look, John Bradshaw, inner child work, meditation, give it a Google, give yourself 7 minutes. Go hug your little one. You're a star. Don't forget it. And I love ya. Mwah! And I'm out.